All right, here with Jessica Barron and Laura Charlton from Guitars in the Classroom. First of all, thank you for joining me, guys. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for having us.
Sure. Wanted to ask you, what is we're in a virtual world, and I guess we're dealing with music, which isn't so virtual. So how is it that you guys are handling it yourself? Well, what are you seeing? And and obviously you deal with teachers a lot, and they've had to. I know from having children that that's a humongous change. So tell me a little about what's going on right now.
Well, it seems like everyone is adjusting as best they can. The parents, like yourself, are trying to figure out how to support their children at home to learn online or asynchronously with packages the schools are sending home. The educators are struggling with the tech as they try to help the parents on board because this is really new. And of course, our work is primarily in Title I schools, which means we're serving a very high needs population. And many of them haven't had access to technology before. They may not have any Wi-Fi at their houses. They certainly don't have a home computer. And so we serve nationally, and each district is doing the very best that they know how to get laptops out to the families. So while all of this was scrambling, we pivoted quickly to online instruction. And we were very fortunate because we have a long relationship with jamplay.com. And I had recorded several guitar instruction videos, like 70 of them on there over the years, and had taught live myself. So I understood what was going to be helpful for people on the receiving end of instruction, having focused on it for a long time. And I called Jamplay and said, is there any way you can help all of the teachers that we're serving to continue their training online? Because schools shut down right in the middle of an 8-week term with Guitars in the Classroom professional development courses. And we know that music is healing. We know that music connects people across the distances, and it always has. And we wanted to be able to help our trainers bridge the gap for all the teachers in their programs, and thus help all of those kids in the classrooms begin to sing online, because we understand that if the children are singing, they're not worrying. If they're playing an instrument, they're not worrying. Things start to feel more normal. It regulates breathing. It's healthy. So all of those shifts happened with these incredible partnerships we have in the music products industry, beginning with Jamplay, giving us a platform, and making free K-12 memberships for all the teachers and the children. And the next thing is that our sponsors started stepping up to help us supply instruments that we were not expecting to have to supply. Most of our instruments live in the classrooms where the teachers we've trained are leading music for learning across the curriculum every day. But the school shutdowns happened so quickly that they couldn't get the instruments out of their classrooms. They had an hour to pack bags and run. It was like a fire mentality. So we started porch pickups, and it's incredible. We're doing safe distancing signups per classroom for highly engaged classrooms. We started it in San Diego, and then we moved it to Colorado. We all are. So anyway, we moved it to Colorado, and I'm trying to turn my phone off, which will take a second. So our programs in Loveland and Fort Collins, those teachers are getting their porch pickups for instruction. We moved it out to El Cajon, so all our San Diego East County teachers have access. And now people are stepping up to get more instruments with our Play and Pay It Forward campaign. So Saga's been helping us a lot. They've been great. And Cla is helping us. They've always been there for us. They're just incredible. And we're working with grant money from the Martin Guitar Foundation and from the Music for Life Alliance to supply more instruments. So it's up and running. It's up and running. We're teaching online, and then the teachers are teaching online, and the music is making its way through, and it's just a big lift, by the whole music village.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic, and I'm glad to hear that you're getting that help, because it's difficult for manufacturers this time too. I mean, they have to, a lot of them have had to unfortunately furlough people, and they're dealing with tough times, and it's amazing how they're coming together though. I mean, it's just, even in addition to what they're giving you, I mean, it's just, when you look at some of these other manufacturers, what they're involved with. It's you know, I can't bring up all of them right now, but it's just it's unbelievable. I mean, Yorkville's helping make ventilators. I mean,
Right. TKL is making medical masks, and TKL gives us all our gig bags. It's
right.
really something. Dunlop has been phenomenal, and they're really working hard to do good things. And so nobody is faltering, despite we're music people. We don't falter. We care. We do the best we can. Even Music Nomad, which is not a great big company. It's a great company, but it's not big. They gave us a grant. Even though these are hard times, they still sent money to help us with programs. So, you know, people care about each other and about music and about the industry, and they care to help the children.
Yeah, it's fantastic stuff. I mean, is there, you know, before I get into the future, is there any word we can get out? Is there any, you know, more help that you need? I mean, if you could have a perfect day during these difficult times, what would it be? What would you ask for?
I would say almost every day is a perfect day, because the care that's coming through, seriously, it is. We're getting grants, and the care that's coming through NAM Foundation and the way that they're supporting all of us grantees to understand how to pivot and cope during COVID, it's been incredible. So yeah, so what we need really is just more, because there are more kids that want to participate and more teachers that are wanting to bring the music in. So as much as we can send things out, whether people want to donate ukuleles or guitars or something like that, seconds are fine. As long as they're playable, we're good. We don't mind dings and dents. And if there's stuff sitting in a warehouse and you have an essential worker who's in that warehouse anyway, you know, we don't want people to take risks, period. We don't want anybody hurting themselves over trying to help us. So if it's safe to help, and if you can access supplies that you would like to put through this pathway, so we have more and more children able to cope with COVID by singing and songwriting and connecting with each other online with the music, we're happy to receive, and it's all tax deductible as we're a 501c3. We won't say no to anything, because if we can't use it, we know who can. We act as a clearinghouse for the music departments that we partner with in the school districts. We make sure that everything that comes in is going out where it belongs. And it's our pleasure to do that. We've always helped that way. And we do that in crises. You know, we've replenished music supplies after tornadoes and hurricanes for school districts. So just let us know if we can help you achieve your goal of service through our network. And we're glad for everybody. If people want to donate money, we'll spend it on instruments. It's all going to come back to the MI. So that's what's incredibly important right now. We're fine. We're staffed. We're not furloughed. We're working overtime. We're doing 19-hour days right now. A little sleep would be good if somebody wants to send some sleep. But I think everybody's short on that right now. We're all in this thing together.
All right, I'll have to find some chamomile tea to send you or something like that.
Oh, right, I'm down to my last 2 bags. I wonder how many of us, you know, that's the industry that might be doing well, is all of the herbal tea people.
Yeah. Well, I think they're doing okay at Starbucks too. I mean, I don't know about your area, but we don't have as many, and they're only drive-throughs, and the lines for those are insane. So whenever we drive by one, so I think they're surviving okay also. But,
Brian, what are you seeing? I would be so interested to hear, what are you hearing from people? What are you seeing? And how can charities like ours help on the other side, bringing the light onto our MI partners?
Well, I mean, you know, I guess I can answer what we're seeing. I mean, it's. I mean, I've been doing a bunch of these interviews, and I think it's people are, you know, they're cautious, they're concerned, but they're also optimistic for the most part about the future if we can get past this, and I hopefully can. That they think that there's going to be some pent-up demand, and also they've said that these times are also not, for some, are not horrible. You know, I mean, as far as they are horrible health-wise, don't get me wrong, I don't mean that, but they're not horrible as far as music. That there are still music sales because people are playing at home. I mean, they all of a sudden are at home a lot. They have time. They can't go to restaurants. They can't go to sporting events, and these sort of things. Of course, depending on what area of the country you're in, maybe they could do a couple of those things some places, but they can't do very much. Let's just, I think that's fair to say. Unfortunately, they can't go to concerts, so that's a problem. But they are playing at home, and we've been seeing that some companies have said and retailers have said there's some demand there. That sales are not up, but they're thinking that the future could prove to be pretty good if we can just get past this, get people comfortable going out again. I think that's going to take some time, but yeah, there's some optimism there that there's some pent-up demand. So I think that's good. So it's a positive sign, but it's going to take a while to get there.
I imagine that people that love their mom and pop stores are feeling loyal right now. So even if the stores have been closed, I imagine that either people are holding back purchases until they can get in the door, or that they're reaching out by phone and asking, is there a way that they can purchase directly? Because I know with our teachers, we love our music stores. We're helped by Guitar Center, which is incredible, but we're also helped by lots of smaller people, businesses, so the teachers want to go where they're taken care of, and they're not going to stop doing that just because doors are closed for a little while.
Right. I mean, I really like what, excuse me, I've been doing too many of these. My throat's getting dry. I really like what on one of these Zooms that's online also, what Myrna Sislin said, from Middle C Music. She had an idea that there's a Korean restaurant near her store, and even though she has to be closed, she's letting them pick up products, instruments from there.
That's cool. That's very innovative.
Yeah, and I said, I think that's really good, because it's not only good for you, because you're obviously making the sale and you're getting that curbside pickup, but it's good for the restaurant, because when people, I know maybe it's not as bad in California, but I mean, where we are here, if you make a trip, you better get a lot out of that trip. I mean, I'm going to say, you're not just going out to, go get gas. You're going, if you go to a restaurant, you're getting food for the night, because you're just saying, okay, I don't want to take a lot of risks and go in a lot of places. But when you decide to go in that place, I'm getting the food, because there's no reason I wouldn't. So, I mean, she thought that that's the case, that people are picking up food while they go get their instruments. So it's helping the restaurant as well. So, I mean, I think that's a really cool idea. That's, and then of course I've heard of the selling toilet paper with the instrument purchases, has worked out.
So it's sort of the old general store model,
yeah.
reinventing itself.
Yeah. I mean, toilet paper is hard to find. So for people buy instruments, they get a free roll. And, I've seen that's worked out for some retailers as well. So yeah.
Absolutely. I'd love to see Hal Leonard put out a COVID-19 songbook, right? Yeah. There are so many songs that have been written, great songs, actually, some really good ones, and some not so great ones, but they're fun. But, so this COVID-19 survival songbook would be.
Yeah, maybe they will. I mean,
right?
they might be listening to this. So
that would be really cool. Yeah. I would imagine that everybody would appreciate that. Just, set up your Zoom COVID jam session. I think the one thing everybody's missing in music education right now is a platform where there isn't a latency problem. That's a problem that all of our certificated music teachers that are on our faculty are dealing with it every single day, teaching music for their districts. And, so are the classroom teachers. So you can't have everybody sing together, because it sounds like a bunch of alley cats. So you have to learn to use your mute function, and then unmute soloists who have to be brave enough to take the solo. And we just indulge the mess at least once a class so people can hear each other, but nobody's coming onto the note at the same time. Yeah,
that is true. That's a hard problem to solve. I mean, Zoom is making a lot of money, but I don't know if they're able to figure that one out too easily. That's a tough one. So I don't know if it's intended for that. So I mean,
well, if it isn't solved, if it's never solved, everybody is going to be so deprived of the experience of making music together on time that when we finally get back into the schools and into the classrooms and bands can jam and tour together again, there's just going to be this huge release of joy to be able to sync up and make it click and have it sound the way we know music should sound.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I think for certain in my mind is once people are able to go out and be together at an arena or stadium or whatever it might be, I think the concert circuit is going to do fantastically well. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I
It's
can't imagine that people would want, I mean, I know myself and I know several other people, not just one or two, that are missing going to concerts so much that they're desperate. They would go see anything. I mean, I just spoke to a guy last week. He said, I want to drive to Ohio to see a certain band play because I heard they're opening up partially.
wow.
I mean, and we live 8 to 10 hours from there. It's not like a short drive. So,
No, it means a lot to people. We were
yeah.
supposed to have our 20th anniversary gala this fall, and Martin Guitars stepped up to sponsor us, and the Milk Carton Kids signed on to be our headlining act, and I'm so excited about that. But it's on hold. And, the Israeli artist David Broza was coming to town and was going to do a big show and help raise money for more guitars for our classrooms. And that can't happen now. So just all bets are off. And I know we're even talking in the future about what's going to happen with the NAMM show, and nobody knows. And so I guess we're all just having to take those deep breaths and find our inner resources to cope with the lack of gratification and these delays, and find our alternative pathways to music as much as possible. I love all the live from home stuff that's going on at Zoom, all the concerts that people are giving out of their living rooms. The radio show Live from Here is transferred into Live from Home, and they're still broadcasting on PBS, but they're doing the recordings from people's living rooms. Even like superstar people are letting go of the need to be on that stage and showing up in their jammies and their sweatpants. Seriously, and doing shows. I just love that we're all just we're vulnerable here, and we're vulnerable together. And that's a place where we can actually come together and heal from the fear and the tension. And that's the biggest thing. Even if only a fraction of people are getting this disease, everybody's feeling it because of the stress. Like you said, just going out to the store. It's terrifying to go to the store. You don't know what you're going to come into contact with. You don't know what's going to happen if a wind blows that way and your mask isn't tight around your face.
Right.
Every minute we're evaluating our own safety. So finding ways to deal with that together, like this conversation, it's really helpful. If anybody needs an emotional lift, come visit our website and our Facebook page. You will see the photos. If you go to Facebook, you don't even have to read the stream of academic articles. Just go click on photos. I do that every day just to see all those children and the teachers and their joy, their faces. Find your joy. I know we have a little window on it, but there's so many beautiful windows out there to be looking into to see good things happening.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, all we could do is stay safe. And I really do hope we could see each other winter NAMM, because, we got to go, there's the one best thing about NAMM show is your Sunday morning breakfast. So, if I'm going to miss that, then,
Oh gosh.
Big disappointment, but.
Oh man, us too. Hey, Laura, is there anything you want to add? You've been listening so quietly, but I have a feeling there are a few points you might want to make.
No, I mean, I'm just thrilled to be working with you, Jess. And the thing that's really struck with me is seeing the children and the kids actually, through guitars in the classroom, writing their own lyrics to get their feelings out during this time. We have an example, Brian, of a classroom here in San Diego where she had her second graders rewrite lyrics to Don't Worry, Be Happy. And they're actually able to get their angst out and their feelings out about how they're not able to see their friends right now, but it's going to be okay. And I just love that message is getting out there through music, and the music is really helping these kids heal during this time. We all know that as music people and music professionals. We know that music matters and music heals, but we're seeing so much of that right now during this time. It's more necessary than ever to help kids connect, and especially with, the online learning and the distance learning is really hard for these little kids. And a lot of our teachers are saying that music is the only thing that's helping them connect with their kids to help them with the lessons, because they feel connected. So that's, I think, a powerful message of what music can do for people.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Great.
And one of the things we're doing on the Facebook page that other people might like to see is we've got the blog with the photographs of the children picking up the instruments before they're going back to the classroom. And then some of their parents took home videos of them singing their verses to Don't Worry, Be Happy. And you know, the timing of the fact that that teacher chose that song when we had the fabulous Bobby McFerrin at the Grand Rally at that. I mean, that was amazing. Bobby McFerrin in Take 5 at the last Big NAMM show was so stellar. And here he is, that love he has for others coming through these classrooms. But you can see all the classroom stuff. We're putting up more classrooms. Like we have one going up a week on the blog page at the website, guitarsintheclassroom.org. So you can go in there and see what's really happening in the trenches with the kids.
Okay. Okay. Great. Well, thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Appreciate you spending your time with us and get some great information out there. So, you know, stay safe, and hopefully we'll have actual school in the fall for the kids, and that will be really nice in person.
We can sure hope so. I want to do one quick shout out to D'Addario, because I have to tell you, every time a teacher breaks a string, we get an email asking, could we please send them a string so they don't have to try to go to a music store or order one string online somewhere. So we actually have the backlog of strings that we're sending out, you know, in business envelopes when everybody breaks string. It's down to the person. It's down to the people at these companies who step up and care. It's down to people, you know, like Tiffany Stalker at Korg, who says, we can send you some ukuleles so that there are more. So I just want to encourage all of our friends in the MI, take heart, think of your own kids, think of kids in your life you care about, know that you can have an impact right now. Even though times are hard, one small gift will change a life. That's all it has to be. One little thing makes a difference. And then where that child is lifted, their family comes with them, and the joy goes outward from there. So I think focusing on the small together, not worrying about the things we can't do anything about, but understanding where we can help, that's where our strength is right now. And let's just keep on being together and getting through this and taking really good care. Thank you so much for having us on and letting us share the good news.
Thank you,
got it.
Brian.
Thank you, guys.